Good morning, YouTube. Today, I'm going to replace the accumulator on our Ferrari F430.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and we are at the Howard, and that is our Ferrari F430, which is for sale through our dealership, NG Supercars. And it's been having a kind of weird issue, which is actually not that uncommon for these cars. We believe the accumulator is going bad. Those things only last about 10 years or so, and then you need to swap them out. It's basically a pressure bulb that helps the F1 system retain pressure. So when it starts to go bad, you start seeing some wonky things like occasionally the F1 system won't shift or it goes to the neutral. You get a slowdown light, you get the F1 light. So that's what we're getting is every once in a while when we come to a stop, we get the slowdown light and the F1 light and it won't shift. Kind of embarrassing and frustrating. So we've already topped off the F1 fluid. That wasn't it. It was very low. So probably there was a leak at some point. There might even still be a leak. So we'll check it out while we're in there. But I think the accumulator is bad because the F1 pump sounds like it pressurizes pretty decently well. So yeah, we're gonna have to take that thing and basically just swap it out, and if we also need to, we might have to bleed the F1 system. So both those things might have to happen. We'll see. Sometimes you don't have to. You can get away with it. We'll give it a shot because it is a hydraulic system. It can self-bleed to a degree. Send us an email, sales@NG Supercars, if you're interested in buying this car or any of the other cars in our inventory. But more importantly, we love it when you guys can like, share, and subscribe. That does help us out. And of course, go buy your parts and services for your car through our website, normalguyssupercar.com. We love hooking you guys up. That's one of our goals, to help you out with cheaper prices. So use the code NGS10. It hooks you up with 10% off most of the things we sell. And if you need to get a special quote for something that's not on the website, send us an email, sales@normalguyssupercar.com. All right, guys, let me show you what's going on. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is actually pop the rear hatch. But before we pop the rear hatch, I'm going to disconnect the battery, because as soon as I open the door, it'll put more pressure into the F1 system. We want to make sure there's no pressure in the F1 system. So we're just going to quickly disconnect the battery. There we go. Okay, so now I can open up the door and it won't kick off the F1 pump. There, nice and quiet. Okay, now the F1 pump and the accumulator bulb are in the back here, underneath this panel. We might have to remove this panel too, because I believe it's kind of like right there. So we'll take a look.
12 seconds later.
Ah, the joys of owning a Ferrari. So I was trying to get those lower screws out and both of them stripped. So I have to now cut them with the Dremel, and then we can use a Phillips and get them out. Or sorry, a flathead. By the way, those little 3mm Allens that are in these things strip out all the time. They're absolutely horrible. I hate those damn bolts. Okay, that is the accumulator, and you can see it kind of looks like a hand grenade or whatever. It's just a ball. It is kind of buried in there. It's a little bit tricky. It's hiding way up under there, and it's a giant wrench. It's actually a 27mm wrench. So I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to fit that wrench in there without removing that panel. We'll give it a shot, but I suspect we're gonna have to pull off that panel as well. By the way, I just wanted to point this out for any of you that think it's easy owning a company. It is Sunday, July 3rd, and I should be out like at home swimming with my kid, playing around, doing something. But no, I'm wrenching in a car, and I had to wash that Boxster because we got someone who wants to buy it. Everyone else is busy, so I came to the shop to go wash the Boxster, and I was like, well, as long as I'm here, I'll change the accumulator because it needs to be done. Yeah, it never ends. And just to make it more interesting, yeah, I have a cold, so yeah. Nothing like working on a Sunday, the day before 4th of July, with a cold. It's awesome. All right, there you can see the accumulator, and you can see we don't have a whole lot of room to work with. So I'm gonna do my best to kind of get in there with the big old wrench, and I've seen people use crow's feet, and that seems to work probably a lot better. I should probably be doing that, but I can't find one.
Eventually.
All right, I've been messing around with this thing for about an hour. I even like removed this tube to try and get access for the wrench and everything. Nothing worked until I just did a strap wrench and tightened the bejesus out of this thing around the top of it. I kind of looked at the design of this thing, and I feel like, yeah, I mean, if you can't get a wrench on that, using a strap wrench on this is pretty solid, considering it's designed to hold like 1,000 PSI or something like that. So I didn't feel too bad putting a strap wrench on it. So anyway, finally it is loose. I can start unscrewing it and get that thing out of there. All right, out with the old, in with the new. Okay, we got it back together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna power it on and listen to the pump and see how it sounds. And I still might bleed it. So the bleeder is actually down there. I think I probably will as long as I'm here. Okay, we're gonna plug it in, and as soon as we turn the power back on, we should hear the pump go. Ready? Okay. Oh yeah, it wants to have me lock and unlock it because the alarm just reset from the battery. But it didn't cycle very long, so that's a good sign. It means it's probably holding pretty good pressure now. So what we need to do is see if we need to bleed it. We can do that as well. Okay, so looking down, that is the bleed block for the F1 system. So you can see we're looking down into this part of the engine. And so what we do is we plug in, we hook up a hose to it, and we crack the bleeder line while running a program on the launch that will actually automatically cycle the pump and bleed it. So we're gonna do that. Okay, we've got a 13mm wrench on the bleeder. We got a bleeder catch can. So now I just need to get the launch turned on. Okay, we're in the launch. We'll go into Ferrari F430, and we're gonna do a system selection. And we're gonna do the automatic gearbox. This is a 2010, so it's gonna be the older system most likely. I think we do special function. And oh, while we're in here, in case you're wondering, there you go. Clutch wear is at 48%. All right, we're gonna try and do the clutch actuator bleed. I believe that's the right thing. So I need to get down there and hold the line while it's doing it. Otherwise it's gonna spray everywhere. Let's break that open. Okay, clutch actuator bleed. There. Okay. You can see it bled off a half a bottle of fluid, so be ready to add more. So I'm gonna need to top off that right now. All right, top that off. We'll put this on. Oh yeah, we're good. And now we'll turn off the key, turn it on, and see how long it cycles. Okay, so we got the new accumulator in place. We bled it. We bled the F1 system. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the key in. We're gonna shift the gears a couple times just to kind of get it cycled, and then we're gonna time it to see how long it takes between recycles. So it should last at least a couple minutes. So if your car's not lasting at least like a minute, it's probably got a leak somewhere. You need to get something fixed. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a timer. You'll be able to hear it, and we'll see how long it takes. So first I'm just gonna get in there and shift a couple gears. All right, so we're in here. We're gonna key it on. All right, you can see we're in neutral. We're gonna go first, reverse. There, we can hear the pump cycling. So every few clicks it cycles. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the camera back there, we're gonna hear it cycle, and then we're gonna time how long it takes between cycles. All right, I'm gonna go shift it, then run over here and push the start button. All right, let's see how long it takes. Two minutes in, still nothing. It's already a pretty good sign. We're 5 minutes in and it still hasn't cycled, so I think we can kind of conclude there's no leaks and the new accumulator is working. So I guess the only thing left to do is drive it and make sure that that's actually true. All right, so as you can see, the accumulator is pretty simple to replace, although you probably should get one of those crow's foot 27mm socket things That would make your life a lot easier. I was able to do it with the strap wrench. I think I got lucky with that. And then bleeding it, you will need a tool like a launch. You could just kind of ghetto do it by like shifting the gears a bunch of times, and then eventually it'll cycle the pump and just push fluid through. That might work. I don't know if that's as good, but honestly, I think just get a launch and do it anyway. I still have the timer going. I'm still waiting for it to cycle. It's at like 7 minutes now. Nothing. So I think we're in good shape. We'll go take it for a drive and make sure nothing happens. But again, this car is for sale. Sales at ngsupercars.com. If you'd like to make an offer, $119,900 is what we're sitting at right now. So when are you gonna scoop it up really quick? It's a beautiful car, amazing blue interior. It's like a super dark blue. It's very cool with the red stitching. Very good shape. Everything works great. It's wonderful. It's ready for you to go out and have some fun. Otherwise, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and go check out normalguysupercar.com. But that's going to do it for this video. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be doing a lot of cool car stuff, so you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet. Oh, it just cycled. 8 minutes and 49 seconds. There you go.